CONY Gardner. You don't need to say much more than that. And the CONY head coach, B.L. Lippert, has been a part of the CONY Gardner rivalry since he was a kid. He grew up in Augusta. He went to CONY High. He played at CONY High. He played in CONY Gardner games, and now he is coaching in them, and he joins us now. Coach, glad to have you with us here on the pregame show. How many of these you been a part of?
19 when my dad was a coach, and then the last 4 I was a player, and now 19 more. So this is my 38th, I guess, CONY Gardner game.
Well, that's quite a lot. So but between you and Patrick Munzing, you're approaching like 80, I think.
Yeah, it's quite a few for the two of us. I know this. When he played against me, he won the 2 games we played against each other. He was a darn good football player, so I'm glad he's not playing Friday night, that's for sure. Yeah,
so you guys both come in with 4-3 records so far on the season. You've won 3 in a row after getting the daylights beat out of you by Messalonsky physically, and then after you lost all those players to Lawrence, you've won 3 in a row. What's happening good for you now?
I think we've kind of committed to the pass game with a sophomore quarterback early in the year. I kind of went through that method of, let's establish the run and open up the pass a little bit later. And then after Lawrence, I said, well, our pass game is better than our run game, so now we're kind of using the pass to set up the run. And so I think our commitment to that, I think getting some of those younger kids that had to kind of come in the second half against Messalonsky and then start against a physical Lawrence team, they've played a little bit better on the defensive side of things. So I think it's just a matter of growing. We start 6 sophomores on each side of the ball, so they're growing up quicker than we maybe expected them to in the preseason, but we lost a couple seniors to ACLs and broken collarbones. So it's been a wild ride. We've played well the last 3 weeks.
B.L. Lippert committed to the passing game. How's that different from any other day? I think
we really, for the last 5 or 6 years, we have been about 65% run, 35% pass. So this is back to the old Ben Lucas days, I guess. And some people love it. Some people probably are in the stands yelling for us to run it more, but we're just trying to do what yields the most points.
Well, you got a kid quarterback in Parker Morin who looks like he can handle the responsibility.
No question. I wasn't sure early in the year. He didn't play particularly well at South Portland early. He was nervous, first career start. So I think that kind of contributed to some of the play calling early. And then for the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's really opened it up. He's thrown the ball well. He's run around a little bit more than he did early in the season, too. And he's just going to keep getting better every week because, he hasn't played a lot of football at all and really not much quarterback either. So, he's gotten better and better. And Parker Surgeon and some young sophomore receivers have emerged. So we've been a little bit more difficult to defend the last 3 or 4 weeks than we were early on.
Talking to B.L. Lippert, the head coach at CONY High School, taking on Gardner. The CONY Gardner game coming up here on The Score. Patrick Munzing's team opened up winning 4 of 5, but they've stumbled the last 2, bombed by Cheverus. And then I think a surprising loss to the Skowhegan Riverhawks, who are certainly improving. What about Gardner concerns you as a team?
Yeah, they've got really good athletes. I mean, they're second-level players with Mishu and Chadwick and number 88, Zach Christian, the quarterback Burgess can run around. So they've got really good athletes. And anytime a team has athletes, they can score quickly. So that's always, tough to defend. And then defensively, they're penetrating. They blitz a little bit off the edges and give you some problems in pass protection. So trying to kind of figure out what they're doing defensively is always a challenge. They do a nice job of varying what they do. So, and it's a rivalry game. And if you look back historically, it's been really close for a lot of years in this rivalry series, and that was true last year. And it looks like now we're going to get rain again for about the 6th year out of the last 7 we've had rain in this game. At least we have turf, but last year on the turf at Gardner it rained. So feels like the elements are always a factor too, and it just adds another layer to the CONY Gardner game.
When you talk about rivalry games like this, and I believe this is the oldest high school football rivalry in Maine. Everybody always says, well, you can throw the records right out the window. Can you throw the records right out the window?
Well, this year I don't think either of us won it. It's the first time. I think Mike Mandel from the KJ told me it's the first time since 1992 that both had a winning record. So this year we don't want to throw out the records because we both are at least over 500. But yeah, I think so. I really think there's some years where one team is maybe considerably better than the other team, and maybe it's going to be a 40-0 game. But for most of the time, when we're pretty evenly matched talent-wise, it's going to be a good game, competitive game, and one team usually rises up if they're not quite as talented and makes it a game. So we've seen that over and over in this rivalry, and that's what we expect on Friday night.
In a world, Coach Lippert, where we're losing rivalries in all sports at all levels, left and right, I am glad you guys are both back, CONY and Gardner, playing in the same conference and playing in the last game of the season. It's the way it ought to be.
Yeah, it certainly feels normal. And what's interesting though, Mike, is that when I was in high school, we didn't make the playoffs, because only 4 teams made it out of 10 or 12, whatever it was. So it was literally our Super Bowl every year, and we treated it as such. So much build up, and now with both of us going to the playoffs, we've been fortunate to go, most of my head coaching career to the playoffs. Now, even when it's the last game, it's just the last regular season game. Like I told the team the other day, let's not make it bigger than it is. Like the game next weekend actually matters more than the one this weekend. As hard as that is to believe, maybe not for the alumni and the guy living in California that's paying attention to the scores, but next week matters more if we lose than if we lose this Friday. So we try not to make it bigger than it is. It's hard to do, though, because everyone wants to build it up, and it's a great rivalry. I love to play in it and coaching it, but ultimately next Friday's game matters more than this Friday in a weird, twist.
CONY head football coach B.L. Lippert, thanks for the time, Coach Lippert. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.